Hello guys, this is Robin Whips here, and today I have a 8-foot long one-bellied whip. There's this big misconception that a one-bellied whip wouldn't work as well for a longer whip such as an 8-foot bullwhip, but it turns out that since there are strands running parallel in the first layer in the core, whenever that wax gets to it and it tightens up those strands that are going all the way down, like halfway down the whip, it almost forms this super strong core for the whip that keeps it nice and stiff. And also for the braided strands, whenever that wax gets to it, it just tightens them up so much to where there's still a really good amount of binding or stiffness there for not having any binding in it except for at the transition of the whip in the core. I'm very surprised by this, but I mean, for a cheaper option for a whip, since they're not as hard to make with the one belly method, it works out really well, and I'm very impressed with it. Like I said, these are a cheaper option on my website because instead of having two braided layers, it's actually just the first layer is just strands running parallel down the core, and like I said, they're just not as hard to make, so they're a little bit cheaper. So I offer them a little bit cheaper on my website. And yeah, I'm really amazed by this. In this specific whip, I have a herringbone pattern at the beginning down to a checkerboard pattern. And then at the end, I have a single strand under one, over one, under one, over one plait. And then I have a Spanish ring knot. And then at the heel knot of this whip, I have a checkerboard pattern. That's the first time I did that. I offer this whip a little bit cheaper on my website since I made it about a year ago. But I really enjoy this whip. Sorry about that. I really enjoy this whip, and I'm gonna offer it on my custom bullwhips website. And like I said, for being an 8-foot one-bellied whip, it works out very well. I mean, you can see it's just as thick as a two-bellied whip because it's the same amount of layers. It's not like any one-bellied whip's going to be smaller than a two-bellied whip because they're both 3 layers. I'll go ahead and crack it for you and show you how it cracks, and it doesn't take very much effort at all. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. So there it is, the 8-foot long one-bellied whip. If you'd like to order this whip or any whip like this, you can go ahead and go to my Etsy shop. It's called Robin Whips, and like I said, a very good solid whip. I love making whips, and I hope that I can go ahead and spread the joy of whip making to you possibly, and if not, well, I hope you at least enjoyed this video and learned something. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.